I saw someone come and go. But if I noticed there were friends waiting, I would have finished getting ready on live. That's the thing, right? Isn't that a thing? So I will start by saying what I always do, which is welcome again to my tens and tens of friends. It is me, teacher TJ, and today I am going to go over my curriculum. So, a little, because I'm a student at heart, I have my notes, right? A little bit about me. I am in Indiana. Hello, friend. And I am from Northwest Indiana. Recently, we had some pretty bad weather here. None of my family or friends were affected, so praise God on that one. Um, but welcome to my tens and tens of friends. It is me, teacher TJ, finger hearts. So today I am going to tell you all a little about my lesson plans. So my lesson plan is broke down into quarters. Okay. So from August to October, I have a study. And then from November to January, there is another study. And then February to May is a study. June through July is a study. And our current, I want to make sure I got the volume up because I don't have a microphone on. So I hope that the sound isn't terrible. I don't like the glare that I'm getting. Not sure where exactly where it's coming from, but I don't like it one bit. Let's see. It's probably my sunlight. I did not close my blinds. But the study that we are currently in is the August through October. So with this study, we are the lesson plan for this study is culture, not Cardi's daughter, but culture. Come on, y'all. Food, music, traditions, books. Um, every study, of course, will have books, but the we have recommendations for the books that we will use in this studies. There's arts and crafts and so much more. So we discuss culture early in education because children can understand. I am a firm believer that if you want your child to understand, if you talk to your child as if they understand, they can. If you treat them like they don't get it, then they might not understand. Then they might not have enough confidence to grasp what you're saying. But I believe as early as infancy, talk to your child as if they get it because believe it or not, they do. So we do study culture this quarter, and in culture, we go over like food, music, traditions, and again, we use books that tie into the theme. And we also do arts and crafts that tie into the theme as well. And an example of arts and crafts would be like the sombrero for Mexican culture or heritage. We also do like a right now we just did an animal study where we talked about the different animals from Africa, and then we did a painting. And one of my most recent videos, there is a clip of what our children's work looked like. One thing I would like to mention is if you are working on a project with your students, let them be creative. Let them do their work on their own terms. Do not do your kids' work for them. I cannot tell you how funny I find it when I see preschool kids work and it all looks the same. I always wonder to myself, like, what teacher is seriously sitting down doing 20 art projects? No, let the children do the work as they see fit. What we have been told through training is you're not even supposed to show them an example of what you think the ending project should look like, because they really want the children to have free creativity when doing said art projects. So, um, even if sometimes parents might look at it and be like, what's this? You just gotta talk them through it. Well, this is, and when you're working on the art projects, you could just write down with the child's permission on the back of the work, this is a boat. The child said that this is a boat, but write that on the back with the child's permission. Because otherwise, believe it or not, you're defacing their work. It's their work. So no art project should look identical. But I do like to show my children, like, okay, so this is the thought, and it's your work. Be creative. So culture is included in this quarter. The reason we work on culture is to help expand their understanding of the world. Um, there's tons of different type of people, so we try to help children get an understanding of that by doing our study on culture. Uh, we discuss culture to start early teaching or early education and help children to understand that we need to respect each other's differences. Um, Again, it helps to expand on their understanding of the world. Another reason that we teach culture in our child care is that it creates a sense of belonging. Sometimes a family may choose a center based on the fact that I get from parents, this is just what they tell me. I chose you because you look like me. But that might not be the case for everyone. You know what I mean? So you may get some children who are not like you. So teaching culture in the classroom can help children build a sense of community and to develop empathy and kindness for children who might not all look the same. So our school year for us began August the 1st, and we did a beginning of the year study, and we talk about school. We discussed school rules. We discussed their graduation that will be coming the following year in July. We discussed routines. We discussed our schedule. And school rules are made by the children. The best way to make a rule for the classroom is to ask the children, what do you think what should be the rules for our school? And then we compiled a list. Don't make it too lengthy because who likes a whole bunch of rules? Nobody. So we go over the rules. We'll post them. And what else? And those are some of the things in the August study. Now, since it is the beginning of the school year, I don't know about any other daycare, but for me, I usually see a huge decrease in our numbers, which is fine because we had graduates or children moving, or, the beginning of the school year, numbers go down and then they go right back up. Um, Because your numbers are low in your childcare does not necessarily mean that you are doing anything wrong or that there is anything wrong with your program. Again, children graduate, they move, different things happen. But I want to definitely share with you all things that you can do about your numbers being low in your center or home daycare. So my child care business is how I pay my bills. It's how we afford our life. And if the numbers are low, we definitely have to get those numbers up. So when the numbers start to go low, relax, enjoy your job, okay? Because it is still your job. And one thing about childcare that I love for me is I get to have fun. I love to create. So I love creating. So I will definitely um, enjoy my work. Whatever we have coming up with the lesson plans, we use that to enjoy my time with my students. Another thing you can do when your numbers begin to look a little low is to advertise. Update your Google. Hello, the big thing. I think that's what I said. Um, Advertise, update your Google, get your reviews, and you also may need to change some of your requirements in your center when your numbers get low. I go a period where I do not take infants, and then I go a period where I can take infants. Of course, factors plans come into play when it comes to taking infants. I can because I have if you listen, you'll learn something. The next big thing, 1393. Listen and you'll learn something. Follow me now. I'll take you for a little walk. So, right now we're discussing what is in my lesson plan. And when you start to, in the lesson plan, we talked about the beginning of the school year and how your enrollment decreases, and we're talking about ways to get your enrollment back up. Uh, Number one rule is don't be thirsty. Don't just take anybody just because you need childcare families. Everybody is not your customer. Just as if my center is not everybody's center, because you might not want or like or agree with what we have going on, and vice versa. So don't just take the first person that comes along when you're searching for your child care families, because you don't want to have to say bye, go find another teacher. You want to keep building and go from there. Uh, you should be sending a message that I have a valuable program and I have a few spots available that I want to fill. Not, oh, I really need childcare family to pay my bills. Mm-mm. We don't give out that type of energy. Everybody is not for you, and vice versa. But one thing I do recommend is teaming with the local child care providers, home daycare providers, because what you can do is say, well, we're full. Here go a couple kids for you that's been calling me, and I work with a few homes around me, and we both like, hey, do you want this family? And we'll send each other families. So don't look at the people in childcare as your competition, because a lot of the times they can be your help. Um, do follow up on inquiries with families who have applied to your center. Now, getting back to what's in the lesson plan, uh, it's back to school, which is part of the theme, part of our study. And we are studying food, cooking, crafts, routines, classroom rules, schedules, And practicing saying, I'll see you later. Because the children come and sometimes it's their first time in a center. So, what you really need to do is to make sure that they're comfortable and that they understand. Mom has to work as you have schoolwork, and mom will never leave you. So, we have to try to coach them through saying, I'll see you later. And, understanding that mom and dad are coming back to get you. No need to fret or worry. In October, our study ends and we have a celebration. Our fall celebration would be um, Halloween or fall. And that would be and it will also like cover some of the things that we've been studying. Uh, let's see where we at. So, a little bit about myself. I am, as you see, I'm here with you creating content. So, what I do love to do is create. I am a preschool child care provider. So there is a ton of creating that goes into that. There's the decorating. I literally create our work between Cricut and Canva. Every project that we work on, for the most part, is created by me. With Canva and Cricut, the possibilities are endless. So I love to create. I am a mother of three beautiful girls. Um, I'm not going to tell their age because, yeah. I love to create so much that I taught myself how to crochet. Anything that you can do with your hands, I pretty much love to do it. And I try to bring that into the classroom. I am a preschool teacher, as I mentioned, mom, provider, childcare provider, and I love to teach, create, and have fun. The mission statement for my center is our mission is to provide a cozy, fun, nurturing, safe, and stimulating atmosphere for all children to grow, learn, and develop emotionally, socially, and intellectually. We believe a child's earliest and most fond memories about education can have a long lasting impact on their love for learning for years to come. We are created to fostering a supportive community that encourages curiosity, creativity, and confidence, helping each child reach their fullest potential while building a foundation for lifelong learning. And that is our mission statement. Our philosophy is all children are curious and genuine individuals who appreciate support, responsibilities, and order and routines. Learning is a never ending process that requires multiple experiences and encouragement. Children learn best through play, independence, and natural interest activities. At our home childcare, we create an environment that promotes community and natural learning. Moving right along. So, we are located inside of my home. We have been in business for over 7 years. We started right before the vid happened, which was insane. But I keep coming back every day because I love it. We are located in Indy. I am from Northwest Indiana, but right now I reside in Indianapolis, which you will hear me refer to as Indy quite often. So, what's in the lesson plan for this month? So, the first week of August was Natural Coloring Day. Again, I use the Cricut for everything, and I will give you a little tip. You can literally take a picture that you have of yourself and create a coloring page. So our kiddos are gonna have fun because actually we were closed the first week of August, and I did not do that activity for or too much of anything, of course, that week since we were closed. But I love the coloring idea so much that we will definitely be doing that this week as well. And again, the way that you can get a coloring picture of one of your friends in the class is to use a picture that you have of them, upload it to Canva, and then you can get a coloring sheet out of that. And I am going to share how they feel about it. Probably not the picture as much. I don't know. We'll see. Because thanks, can't read your name. Sorry. Um, but we will be creating coloring sheets for the kiddos, and I know that's just going to blow their mind to see, kids are, I won't say easy to excite because sometimes they are not all that thrilled with what we have going on in class, but I know the coloring sheet is going to be one thing that they like. Also, in the first week of August, it was National Water Balloon Week, which I'm going to have to do again because a friend or two of mine missed when we had our water balloon celebration for the end of July study. So we're going to do a water balloon day again this month. Well, yeah, sometime this month. Uh, Again, the first week of August covers classroom jobs and more. Teachers, preschool teachers, often use jobs in the classroom. Those jobs include table washing, passing out napkins, passing out snacks. What else do we do? You may need to pass out materials. Some children get to feed the fish or water plants, and the list goes on and on. Giving a preschool student a job gives them helps to build their confidence and helps them to feel like they can go home and do some of those things and be independent at home, because the goal is to teach our children to be independent, because mom and dad can't do it all. And even if they can and they do, once they get over to kindergarten, the teacher is not going to be able to do everything for them. So the best place to start is in preschool, getting children, or at least at the preschool age. If your children are not in preschool, I would say start early, getting them to do things around the house. They actually love it. Okay, so yes, do give children an opportunity to be independent. Week two, we will do I Love You rituals. If you're not familiar with the Conscious Discipline book, I would suggest that you get familiar with it. Conscious discipline is based what it sounds like consciously disciplining. A lot of times, older folks forget that kids are kids and they're going to kids. So, conscious discipline makes you actually think about the way that you're disciplining them and also offer alternatives, um, and gives good finger play or quality time interactions between parents or teachers, just adults and kids, periods, or even older siblings. Um, so I do use conscious discipline in my classroom. There, I love you rituals. So it would be something like, instead of saying, uh, I was going to say the itsy bitsy spider, but that's not really a good one. It would be like, uh, the old lady that lived in a shoe had so many children. She knew exactly what to do. She hugged them and she tucked them in bed. You would actually do the movements for those. So Conscious Discipline has a book, I Love You Rituals, that change a lot of the nursery rhymes that I think the old lady that lived in the shoe, she did something to them kids, if I remember the poem correctly. So, Conscious Discipline offers loving alternatives to working with your kid, with your children. So, moving right along, week three is back to school, sharing, 10 grams, autumn, money, and handwriting without tears. Now, the conscious discipline book, I would say you can get from the library, no money spent there. What else did I just mention? Oh, handwriting without tears. Basically, what we use that book for is to create letters using letter pieces. Turns out all the letters of the alphabet are made using, I'll say, about five different shapes. Like there's a straight line, there's a straight line, there could be a curved line, like for the D. Well, a curved line for the D, or a small curved line for like an uppercase B, and then there's like the little lines for the E's, and then there's like the long line. So if you think about all of those pieces, handwriting without tears has each one of those pieces separate, and then the children learn how to put those pieces together to create different letters. So week 3 in August, which is the week we're actually in now, we do some handwriting without tears and the tangrams, back to school, sharing, and so much more. Week 4 which is I Love My Feet week or day within the week, and we do back to school activities, culture again, remember, because for August through October we do study culture. We also talk about alphabet and Osmo. So Osmo is a technology program that we use in our classroom that the children love. If you cannot afford Osmo, there is programs, I know I put it in one of my videos, that actually offer free tech to even preschool teachers. I will add that in the description once I get finished with this video. Um, and if you can't afford Osmo, which my students really love, I recommend that you reach out to that program that I will list in this video for free tech. Um, we will also go over personal info in class, and we have tons of worksheets and printouts all created by me. And that Level Up Stars lesson plan, don't forget, it is $5 for the week, $20 for the month, and I do have a special monthly at the beginning of each month where you can get the full month for $5 off. So instead of $5 a week, it would be the 15 for the month of lesson plans. Now, the reasons you should purchase the lesson plans from Level Up Stars is that they are created by me, yours truly, with you in mind and your children or students. It is affordable and it saves time. It is primarily for ages 3 through 5, but it can be the lesson plans can be created to um, suit the needs of your younger children as well. We also include the standards in the lesson plan. Again, I am from Indiana, therefore, our standards may be a little different from yours. What do I mean when I say standards? So, the Indiana Learning Standards, I'm pretty sure that's backwards for you all, but they include English language arts. So, for example, ELA is the communication process, early reading, and early writing. So, in the English learning standards, which we include in our lesson plans, it demonstrates communication, it demonstrates awareness of alphabet, phonological awareness, and so much more for your early learning standards, your English language arts, excuse me. And then for mathematics, which is also included in the lesson plan, there is numeracy, computation and algebraic thinking. Now you say, now what would that be for kids? So computation and algebraic thinking would be exhibits an understanding of mathematical structure. So you do this, or you should do this a lot without even a child realizing that they're doing math. I had a kid today. He had three jewels in his hand, and I told him, put one back and keep two for you. No, I said put two back and keep one for you. So he put them back, and then I asked him, well, how many do you have? And he said, well, I have. He had three to begin with. He said, well, I have one. That's math. That's algebraic thinking. And you can do stuff like that with your. Always slow it down and bring the lesson into talking to children, because it's, believe me, it's always a lesson to be learned. Also in our lesson plans is math for data analysis, and that's demonstrating understanding of classifying. Red go with red, blue go with blue. Geometry, measurement, and then there's science. So physical science would be like demonstrating the ability to explore objects in the physical world. Earth and space science, an example would be recognizing seasonal and weather related changes. See, your children learn a lot, and it might look like they're playing, but they're learning. Life science demonstrates awareness of life. For instance, today we went for a walk and we talked about the different things that we saw that were living. And we talked about how the trees and the grass were a part of that. Now, walking with your children is not included in the lesson plans, but everything is not included. Everything that we do in a day is not in a lesson plan. And if you follow, like, and subscribe, you can see examples of the things that we do every day. Sorry, you won't see my kids though. But you can get an idea of, what a day looks like in our classroom. Science also includes engineering, and that would be like putting together the marble run. Scientific inquiry and method, computational thinking, which would be like a demonstration of decomposition of larger tasks into smaller ones. So it would be like one art project that they love to do is to the coffee filter, what do you call it? Sun catchers. So the way that that works is steps, right? Because that's science, computational thinking. Larger tasks, which is the art project, the finished artwork, and to smaller tasks. So you would start by like coloring make sure you use washable markers. They can color however they want the coffee filter. The next step is to spray it with the water bottle. The next step is to cut it out and have it fit into the, not frame, but what we're using to hang it. For instance, I have a cricket, so I cut out leaves, leaf outlines. So they would use the outline of the leaf and then put the coffee filter that they colored and wet um, in that, and then you would see a coffee filter sun catcher. So there's also social studies, which is studying self, history and events, geography, economics, and citizenship. Students' well-being, which is sense of self, self-regulation, conflict resolution, and building relationships included in our lesson plans or just our day-to-day activities. Approaches to learning and playing is the initiative and exploration, flexible thinking, attentiveness and persistence, and social interactive actions. Creative arts is the music, dance, visual arts, dramatic play, and then there is physical education, which is health and safety, your senses, demonstrating how the five senses support processing information, motor skills, and personal care. And that's like teaching children how to wash their hands and take care of themselves. like tie their shoes or go to the restroom and so forth. Uh, let's look at what's the time? 35. So I am going to get ready to wrap this up in a second after I share a little bit more about our lesson plans. Any questions, drop them in the chat, or you may put them down in the comments on the replay. Things that we do on a regular include like Play-Doh and crafts and their jobs and lesson, and the list goes on. So our lesson plan, this will look backwards for you. Let me see if I can cover this a little bit. But it would look a little bit like this, where it would say like the time. This is small group, art, reading, music and movement, and large group. I also have special days of the week, and I also have essential oils because I am essential oil lover. I include a recipe for each, a diffuser blend for each day of the week. We also give STEM or STEAM activities, and we talk about things to do. We list things to do for going outdoors and any special activities, which would be like the month. Um, for this week, we have, this week, our special activity is to make sure that the parents get their packet or begin their packet for 1,000 books to kindergarten. If your child care home or center or child of yours is not part of the 1,000 books to kindergarten, is pretty much you can download the form. I will include that in the description below to this video, but you can include excuse me, you can download the 1,000 books to kindergarten form, and you can fill it out as your child read. Repeated books that you read over and over, those count. The books that they read in school, those count. Studies show that children who are read to more often are stronger readers, and a stronger reader ultimately leads to your child doing better in school. Now, so this isn't 100% accurate, but for me, the way that my life is set up is my lesson plan may look like this, but in order for me to follow it for the day, I need a schedule that looks like this. So you can take that lesson plan, and let's say what's today is Tuesday. Okay, so for small group, I would prefer to do small group at, let's say I want to do it at 9 o'clock. Then I will write it on here. So in order to organize my day, probably tonight for tomorrow, I will be listing our schedule of events and what my day is going to look like using my lesson plan. Now, inside of the lesson plans, there are blank sheets for teachers to schedule their day. And since no one has any questions, I am going to head out of here and hopefully go on over there to Bondi. Did it kick me out? No. Okay, good. But and check out her live. Thanks again to my tens and tens of friends for rocking with me. If you have any questions, again, put them down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me for more because I will be here and hopefully you will too. Bye, 10. Those are finger hearts. I got that from my daughter. She showed me that, and I was like, "Oh, I guess it is a heart." Cutest thing ever because I was struggling with the yeah, and she just showed me. I'm like, I like it. I'm gonna take that. Let's see. I haven't seen anybody else doing it. I'm still my finger hurts. I stole it. I don't know when I got to give it back. Bye, 10. Let's see how we cut this thing.